Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing this today? Let me click this so I can see the comments. I hoped you liked that song. Last week I played a different song, and I see somebody's in my chat, B Weezy, my son, and that is a song that he created. Uh, everybody seems to love Billy's song and B Weezy his song, and mine was it was okay, but B Weezy his song is so catchy. Anywho, I'm lucky to have him on my team. So hopefully everybody's doing okay. Today I'm going to go through the chat and everything like that, but it's going to be more of a serious subject. I'm not going to dwell. This whole conversation is not going to be about Amy Bradley and her missing, Amy Lynn Bradley and her missing. We're going to go through some of the facts, and I want you to tell me what you guys think as far as what happened. We're going to talk more about as far as how it changed cruising. I started cruising about 1990, right around there, and on the cruise, you had no worries. It was like just old school days, leave your door open. And everybody was friendly. You never thought about security. Going to, 98, 99, never thought about it. My son was 5 years old. And yeah, son, come. Where's your friends? Go have fun with your friends. Now that I look at it now, it's like, yeah, probably was the craziest thing I ever did. But we're going to talk about it today as far as how it changed. How it changed cruising forever, probably. But I don't want to make people paranoid about cruising either. So let's go up here to the top of the chat. And first of all, let me get this Instagram going. Oh, I might not be able to do it. Hold on. My bad, people. Hold on. I might not be able to do it. Let's see. Because I already started the live, and I should still be able to do it because I don't start the live till late anyway. So give me 1 second. Save changes. Yeah, nope, it didn't let me do it. So we're gonna do it without Instagram today. So let me close that down if I can. There we go. So let's get this party started. Embarkation Nation is first in the building. Welcome in, Embarkation Nation. I'm assuming this is Jennifer. It's Jennifer. Welcome in. Thank you for being a member. Life with Tanisha. Welcome in. Thank you for being a member. Mona, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being a member. And I say hello to everybody. Shay Adventures, welcome in. Waiting on the man of the hour. Welcome in. Everybody saying hello. Keisha's in the house. Happy, hey Bill. Happy banter with Bill Thursday. How do you like this background? I changed the background a little bit. Basically, let me right there. Okay, so I'm just to know where I'm at. I do like Opus clips, so I a lot of times I'll break down my lives, and it'll give me little short clips. But it cut off the words and everything. So I'm hoping here that you will have like banter with Bill, so we know what show it is, and my picture, and none of the words cut off. Maybe my name might get cut off a little bit, but I changed it. So hopefully you like the background. LF McKinley, welcome in. Appreciate you being in here. I got to admit, Lagesha, I am starting to think about Greece. I'm starting to get a little excited. I booked my excursion. I'm going to do the essentials of Santorini. So I'm getting a little excited. I'm going to start, after this next week, I'm going to start talking more about Greece. Carnival Cruise Addicts, welcome in. And Elif McKinley, thank you for being a member also. And Carnival Cruise Addicts, thank you for coming in. Liz, thank you. Thank you guys for being a member of the channel, a part of the strong crew. Everybody saying hello. Q, welcome in. Appreciate you being in here, Q. And thank you for being a member. I appreciate it. B Weezy Cool, welcome in. Thank you for being in here. I was going to work remotely, but I decided not to today. So B Weezy Cool is watching the grandkids, his nieces and nephews. And Ava and Aiden says, hello, Pop Pop. Ava and Aiden, hello. I'll have to catch you next week sometime. Everybody's saying hello. Hey, beautiful. Hey, pal. Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody's saying okay. TJ Destination, welcome in. TJ is putting out a lot of content from Celebration Key. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I haven't watched the one today. I think today was about an hour long, so I didn't get a chance to look at it. But I'm gonna go over there and check it out. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello, hello. I'm digging this song. Yeah. My son knows. He said my song put people to sleep. It's like you try to get people ready for a live, and you're putting them to sleep with your song. Y'all remember my song, right? Hold on. I mean, I'm really gonna get into the topic today, but hold on. Okay, this is my song. I'm gonna play this really quickly.
Sailing out, blue skies above.
Okay, enough of that. I like that one. I'm old. That was more like a little jazzy, slow down pace. But I put B Weezy's song up. I put together some clips from like stock media to make a video for the song that he made. And I don't know, it got like over 100 views. I didn't expect anybody. I just wanted somebody to listen to it and tell me what they thought about it and which one was better. So I need in the comments, if you guys, nobody's feelings are going to be hurt, but which song do you like better? My soulful jazz one or B Weezy's upbeat one? Yeah, no pressure, no judgment. I just want to know which one would be better. I'm starting to believe that everybody kind of likes his better. So yeah, I'm going to rethink it. Okay, where was I at? Everybody saying hello. Gwen, welcome in. Amelia, thank you guys. Thank you for coming in, you guys. Thank you for coming in. Shay is coming in on the Facebook side. Thank you. I thought I saw you on the YouTube side also. Linda, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in. Everybody saying hello. Embarkation Nation, I have to agree. B Weezy's is catchy. Yeah, I did it. I connected it. I have it on my phone. And I connected to the Bluetooth in my car, and I turned it up. I'm like, yeah, this is a nice song. I'm going to actually try and put it on Spotify. That's how much I thought of it. Mine too, but that's how much I thought about his song. Whew, I'm out of breath already. Life with Tanisha says, I tried to break out the salsa, but I did not have the tropical drink to go with it. I know. The kids love the intro. Did you tell them you wrote it, B Weezy? I know you did. Amelia says, Madam Liz, joyous evening to you, my lady. Hey there. Oh, love the roses. Scrolls Nest, welcome in. And for everybody that's in here right now, I'm showing like 27 people in here. If you don't mind, just go ahead and hit the like button for me, please. It's supposed to be good for the algorithm. And if you're in here and you're new here, welcome in. Hopefully we can make you feel comfortable in here. We are talking about cruising like we always do every Thursday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Controversial cruising is in the house. Welcome in, Scott. Scott is going live right after this show at 8 o'clock, I do believe. And it's not 9 o'clock to this time. So we're getting off today. We're getting off at 8 o'clock. And we're going to all head over to Thursday Trivia. Scott is going to be on there with TJ's Destination. And we're going to watch some Thursday Trivia. The link is pinned up to the top. And also, if you just stay on this channel, it'll redirect you right over there. So no excuses. What up? Oh, everybody said hello, Scott. Okay. Hello. Travel. Hold on. I must have missed travel with Josiane. Oh, there she is. Travel with Josie-Ann. Welcome in. Welcome in. Appreciate you being in here. Najuma Brown, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being a member also. Part of the strong crew. I like it. And strong crew. You're gonna get a members only video. I'm going away this weekend, so I am going to give you a live, probably a video Saturday. I didn't come out with a video this week, so I'll probably give you a Saturday to let you know what I'm doing and where you can find me and what's going on for next week. Keisha says background looks good, balanced, and not overly busy. Waves, caps, coordinated with the beard. Anywho, thank you, Keisha. I vote for B Weezy's. You're not the first. You're not the first. I've heard this all week. Yes, matches his beard. How does matches my beard? That one's good, but sorry, B Weezy for the win. Okay, Mona. Okay, no hard feelings. Should we ask B Weezy also? Bill didn't like ours. Ooh, you might want to ask him. Apparently, I don't know good music when I hear it. Bill's song sounds like it's from an episode of The Love. Yeah, but somebody else said that. So somebody else said that. Said it sounded like was it Embarkation Nation? I don't know. It sounded like it was a theme to a television show. I wanted it to be a pop song. I wanted it blasted on the radios all summer long. My mood changes, so both songs age great. Well, thank you, Keisha. I know what that means. He definitely has an era. Yes, Q. I said it sounds like the start of a TV. Yes. Okay. It's Michelle. Welcome in, Michelle. Hi, Bill. Hi, everyone. The new song is awesome. Okay, Billy, I'm going to need you to close your ears because his head is so big. I mean, it's going to be tough for him to even get into the car. Thursday trivia is at 9. TJ is on Match Game tomorrow. Is that? Uh-oh. I might have posted the wrong thing. I thought I saw. My bad. Scratch that what I posted because I think it might be for tomorrow. I redirected everybody to TJ. I thought what? Maybe so. Maybe I just got it confused. It might be right because it had the IPA Thursday. I don't know. I'm old. That's my excuse. Whenever I do something wrong, I'm old. That's my excuse. Carol Handy, welcome in, Carol. Appreciate you being in here. Can't get you on YouTube for some reason. Oh, no. But at least you came over here on the Facebook side. I appreciate it. TJ says, B Weezy for the win. The Jay Jordan Show. Welcome in, Jordan. Appreciate you being in here. Emily, welcome in. I'm glad you're off work. Emily says, smash that like button. Keisha, if I didn't say it, thank you for being a member. I don't know if I said it or not. Okay, I'm down to the bottom. Okay, let's try to get this party started a little bit. And the reason this all came about, I had somebody come into somebody came into one of my videos and left a comment as far as wanting to talk about this subject, be known to me. He also went to Scott and said kind of the same thing, just in a little harsher way, but he said the same thing. So tonight we're going to talk about this Amy Lynn Bradley story for a little bit. And as I said, I was around in that era. I didn't really think much about it, but I'm going to go into it, tell you guys brief. I don't know how many people have seen it. If you've seen it, feel free to comment. I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat. So, but feel free to comment on what you think. Everybody has an opinion, and when you go through it, It's like that a murder mystery that you see on television, and everybody, I think this person, who did it, who done it, whatever, and I think this person, that person looks suspicious, and I'm going to go through kind of some of the things about the case and give you my opinion on it. As I said, I was in law enforcement for over 30 years, chief of police, and all this. I did detective work. I did all that, and the TV shows, they're TV shows. They kind of maybe play with the truth a little bit, so honestly, that we don't know what happened. It's all speculation, and I'm gonna be right in there speculating on what I think happened. So in 1988, it was a 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley. She went on vacation with her mother, her father, and her brother. I think brother was probably about 21, and she disappeared from the ship. Long story short, and spoilers, if you haven't seen it and want to watch it, you might want to get out the live. I mean, I don't want you to get out the live, but it's going to be some spoilers here. So let me check before I start going with the story. Let me see, check the chat real quick. Hold on. I'm seeing what did I miss? I'm saying congratulations. Hold on. I'm seeing 5 memberships. Embarkation Nation for the win. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. 5 gifted memberships. Hold on. I know everybody was trying to say what was going on, but it looks like Shay's Adventures, Charlene Phelps, Scott McNeil, Cruise Bolero, and Bone Tired Travelers. Welcome to the Strong Crew, everybody. That's so nice of you guys. You guys are the greatest. Hold on. I'm going to play. I'm going to do. Hold on. Let me take off this comment real quick. Hide comment. Okay. I am going to play the only one that I do have. Well, I'm going to play for the new members. And I don't have one for buying the memberships, but so I'm going to play the super chat one.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the money. Money.
Okay, I can't convince you guys that that's a better song. I can't. No. Anyway, thank you, Embarkation Nation, and welcome to the Strong Crew. All the people that received the memberships. Hold on. Why is it? Blah. Mine channel. Welcome in. Appreciate you being in here. Okay, I think I'm down to the bottom. Cruising Chris. Welcome in, Cruising Chris. And welcome to the Strong Crew also. Appreciate you coming in there. I appreciate it. Hold on. I'm not going to let you get away without. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you coming in and becoming a member. And hopefully I can, make you want to stay around for a while as we talk this cruising and braving these 7 seas. Okay, let me get back. So Amy, family, vacation. They're cruising along and somewhere around Curacao, Amy and her brother, they go to the nightclub. Parents are in the cabin sleep. Remember, spoilers. So if you don't want to have spoilers, time to check out now. Parents go back to the room. They're all staying in one room. Parents go back to the room. Amy and her brother are at the disco, at the nightclub. The brother goes back to the room 3 o'clock, 3:30-ish in the morning. 15 minutes after he goes back, Amy comes to the room. They show that they, with their cards, that they swipe the cards to get into the room. So it shows those times they came in. So we could kind of verify that at least their card was swiped. Not that they did it, but their card was swiped. They go sit on a balcony because I guess they're not ready to go to bed and they've been drinking. Amy says she's not really feeling that well. and she's smoking. She's smoking cigarettes. This is back in the day when you could smoke on the balconies. So they're smoking. About 4:35-ish, the brother goes to bed, goes to sleep. About 5:30, the dad wakes up, looks out on the balcony, and sees Amy's legs there, like propped up in a chair. And that's at 5:30. 6 o'clock, dad wakes up again. Amy's not there. The door to the balcony is open, and the brother, mom, and dad are in the room. Follow me there. So we're there. They're headed to I believe Curacao. They haven't docked yet, so they're looking. Amy. So they contact guest services. Hey, can you make a broadcast? And guest services, crew management say, no, we're not going to disturb everybody because your daughter's missing. Well, that's not good public service. But if they wanted to call into to every room, hey, we're looking for Amy. Has anybody seen her? No, they're not going to do it. They get into Curacao. They still haven't found her, and now they're like, hey, don't let anybody off the ship. We haven't found her. The crew goes, and what they do is, as they're getting ready to disembark for Curacao, they do a search of the ship. I believe it was about an hour long. They come up nothing. They say everybody all the employees were searching. They came up with nothing. They start letting people disembark. We're not going to mess up everybody else's cruise because we can't find a person. Kind of cold. I got it, but it's kind of cold. Now, right there, I don't know exactly what the parents did. I know one thing about a ship. There's only a couple ways off the ship. It's not like you can go off like 19 different ways. Usually they will open up, and the Rhapsody at Sea is also another thing that made me think about this. I'm actually going on that ship in, I believe, September. But, so let's say there's two ways off. Now, if I were the parents, hey, you go to that exit, I go to this other exit to see if we can find our daughter. They can't. Nobody can find her. Couple hours in, now they give the alarm that, hey, somebody's missing. They contact the local authorities. Somebody's missing. So the some of the protocols. And you got to remember, this is 1998, and I mean, this is kind of like an afterthought. We have those things now in place, but the protocol. So now you have a possible crime scene in the cabin. That was the last place she was seen. Do they block it off? No, they go in there like it's just a regular day, and the maid, the cabin steward comes up, makes the room up, cleans up everything that they can, like it's a regular day. Crime scene destroyed. If that was the crime scene. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go down the chat real quick. Try to catch up here. Susanna, welcome in. Susanna, VentureCast, welcome in. Thank you, VentureCast, for being a member. I know I probably have missed some chats or some conversation here. So anyway, I'm gonna go back. Crime scene is disturbed already. They can't find her. Well, they finally get a hold of the local authorities. They weren't much help. Parents decide to get off the ship and fly home. I mean, they did their search. They went to local authorities. Local authorities did a search. They went out in the water and they figured about where the ship was and figured out with the currents about, if somebody had fallen overboard, where they would wash up if they weren't alive. Couldn't find anybody. They couldn't find anybody. So that kind of leads up to later on, because now people are starting to get stories together. Now the FBI is involved. They come back, the FBI gets involved, and they pull footage. Amy was seen at the club dancing with a member of the band. His name was Yellow. They called him Yellow. late that night, about 5 o'clock, there was a couple on deck, and they said they saw Yellow and Amy walk by. And then later on, a little bit later, they saw Yellow walking back by himself. But now remember, Amy was in the room at 5:30. So, I mean, that right there is not like, I mean, yeah, they weren't together because Amy went back to the room, of course. So that really didn't, because a lot of people want to blame Yellow that he had something to do with it, and other crew members, they were in on it. Mom and dad fly back home. Fast forward a little later, you start getting people that are saying, yeah, I saw her here, I saw her there. And it never panned out. I guess she had a distinctive tattoo of a Tasmanian devil. And yeah, only I remember that. And one guy who was in the military said, I went to a brothel. He didn't say anything because he was in the military. They didn't want him going to the brothel. So he didn't say anything, but he said, I remember her being there. Could be, maybe, kind of, sort of. The one thing is, you can convince yourself. You see people. I mean, I still got people telling me Elvis is alive. Tupac, he's alive. I mean, yeah. He was over there. Anyway, I mean, that happened. So the last place that they was a sighting that I know of, I heard some new information came out recently, was in Barbados, that she was spotted on the beach there by somebody. And how true that was, who knows? Who knows? The one thing that, and I'm gonna go back to my theory real quickly as far as what I think happened. What I think happened, and this goes into the story. When you look in the cabin, which it was disturbed, so you don't know where everything was. Amy she said her brother went to bed. She said she was sitting on the balcony. She wasn't feeling well, been drinking, wasn't feeling well, and that's why she was on the balcony. When they started to interview people, they actually interviewed the next door neighbor because they thought, well, maybe he was a creep. But it's like, well, if he was trying to reach and grab her from next door, Amy would have said something. If Amy was going to go over there on her own, if she had slipped, she would have screamed, because, yeah, I mean, that's what you do when something like that happens. When I look at the balcony, and the theory, the problem with this theory here for me is it was disturbed. The crime scene was disturbed, but the table is pushed up against the rail. Getting into Amy's personal life, I guess she was bisexual or a lesbian, and the parents really weren't thrilled about it. They accepted it, but they weren't thrilled about it. So that's, how true that was, and whatever. It is what it is. Before the cruise, she had broken up with her girlfriend, and it wasn't a good time. And she wrote a letter, put it in a bottle, and gave it to the girlfriend later somehow, or the girlfriend had it and opened it later. My theory is, and I think that the depression is a terrible thing. And if you ever known somebody with depression, they could be out there, having a party with you, living their best life, laughing like everything is okie dokie, but it's not. And that's the problem with depression. That's why you have to watch people. Be careful what you say. Observe what they're saying. Not just when the party's going on, but after the party. When I look at what happened, well, let me go back before I say that. They wanted to blame the band member. They wanted to blame the band member for it, and that somehow they were other people involved. They were sneaking her off. She was about 5'6", athletic, which would have been tough. I mean, I guess they could have drugged her, but it's a short window. It's kind of a short window here. 5:30, Dad saw her in the cabin. So it's like a short window here that that something could have happened to her. Could other people help cover it up? Yes. But now it's like this big conspiracy that she might be being trafficked. Yellow was married at the time, and I guess came home. His wife found a bag full of pictures of women. Wife found them. They wound up getting divorced. But my whole thing was, there wasn't like this whole, hey, every cruise somebody's coming up missing. It was only like the one. There was only like the one. This is just the one time that it happened. And they kind of wanted to make it out like kind of like a serial thing, that everybody got together to traffic her. And I don't see that. It could have happened. I just don't see it happening like that. I think she got depressed. She had been drinking all night, and she went overboard on her own free will. That's why there's no screaming. There's no evidence of anything. That's why mom and dad, who was just up at 5:30, nobody noticed her walking through the cabin, leaving the cabin. And you got to remember, back in the 90s, they didn't have cameras everywhere like they do now. I mean, partly this is why we have cameras everywhere now. This is why we have the man overboard sensors now. Kind of all because of things like this, because there was no way to prove anything. And in this case, there was no way to prove anything. I'm just looking at, when I look at it, could somebody had kidnapped her, got her off the ship? There's only there's only two ways off the ship. It wasn't like you could just go off the ship. If they drugged her, so here's a crew member trying to get a bag with a woman that's 5'6", and let's say she was in pretty good shape, 115, 120 pounds, dragging this bag off the ship, and nobody questioned what one of the employees was doing, dragging this big bag off the ship. It could happen. I mean, there's times where there's been a lot of lack of security. But in my belief is that she probably jumped, went overboard without disturbing anybody, and that's why the mystery. Now, there is one thing that I have a problem with. There was a flyer or a website that had a picture of somebody who looked like her, and the FBI said they matched up like a picture of Amy with that picture. And that is the only thing that, well, it could have been. Now, Amy could have, another theory is she snuck off the ship and decided not to come back. And maybe she went to, buy drugs and got kidnapped while she wasn't on the ship. That's a possibility. I mean, that is all that is a possibility. But I would think that if I told you my daughter is missing and they searched the ship, that they would have people looking on the exits for that person. So could they have missed it? Yes. But I know, I know a lot of people are not going to want to, hear that part of it. Let me catch up with the chat real quick, if I can. I'm so far behind. Yes, Mona, I will. They did find like a shirt she had on. Inside, they found the shirt. They found the shirt inside on it looks like a sofa or a chair. The cabin. Everybody, hello, Mike, VentureCast. Okay, I think I'm pretty caught up. Marjorie, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in, Marjorie. Who said that yellow is shady? I don't think so. I think this is prior to, like, he was having fun dancing. He danced with a lot of different people. I mean, he might not have been a good husband, but as far as shady, I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, he literally, this is what he did. He mingled with the guests and the women, and I just don't see it. And I don't see, I don't. If we had more cruises where other people had come up missing, let me get a drink of water real quick. If we had had other cruises where people had come up missing, I would say, yeah, we might be onto something here. But right now, I think he was a partier. He partied with Amy. He danced with her at the club. They said between 5 and 6. Well, nah. She was last seen at like 5:30 in the morning. The father saw her on the balcony at 5:30 in the morning, and when he got up at 6, she was gone. So it was like 5:30 to 6, and that's where, I mean, Mona says, I believe he was too. Yeah, see, I just interesting case. I'm leaning toward her overboard myself. I do. It just doesn't add up. But that's why we don't know. I mean, we all saw the same thing, and it's all speculation. And I'm not saying my way is the right way. I'm not saying your way is the right way. Who knows what happened? We don't know. That's why it's a mystery. Destination Fun, welcome in, Destination Fun. Sherry, the real captain. This was a very well orchestrated trafficking organization at work, possibly. Yeah, but well organized organization. They committed one crime. I mean, one crime off a cruise ship. Why not get somebody off? I mean, on a cruise ship, somebody goes missing. You almost know immediately that person is missing. Why not do it to one of the resorts? Why not do it? I mean, I could think of a lot of easier ways than on a cruise ship. You're on a cruise ship with no way off. That's where you want to do it. Organized crime wouldn't box themselves in like that. I mean, there are people that maybe might not be that bright, but they wouldn't. I mean, why would you box yourself in like that with no place to go for this one particular person? Hear me out. Maybe she wanted to disappear. And Scott, I'm leaning like that. I'm thinking overboard or didn't want to be found. Scott, I'm kind of thinking like you too. I don't think there was like this big organized crime ring that, hey, you know what we got to do? We got to get her. If we get her, we're gonna win. I don't see that. And you're going to Curacao, you're going to Barbados, you're going to all these Southern Caribbean places. I mean, if you want it, and even okay, so now let's say they wanted a white female. All the resorts down there, I mean, you could have found a lot easier target than somebody in the middle of the ocean on a cruise ship. They broke up, but got back together, according to the girlfriend. There were plans for them to celebrate her new job. But the problem with the depression is maybe Amy wasn't happy. Apparently, she sounded like she wasn't happy. Maybe the pressure from her parents, who did not really accept her lifestyle, bothered her. Also, she'd been drinking at the club, apparently. So I mean, there's a lot of things there than the that I would look at more than an organized crime ring is going after this one particular person. Agreed. Mental health symptoms are not always obvious, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Allegedly she was a lifeguard and also an excellent swimmer, but I don't know if her skills could have. It would have been tough in those. I think between those islands, how the waves are, but she could have. But that goes back to, if she didn't want to be found, she could have. That's the way to go. I mean, she could have swam. But because there was no screaming, because there was no fighting, because there was, and we're on a cruise ship, and somehow Dad slept all night, woke up, and you've been on a balcony or a lot of you probably have been on a balcony room. Dad woke up, saw the daughter, but went back so deep into a sleep that he didn't hear the daughter come back into the room. Now you had to open the blinds or whatever to come back in the room and open the door and sneak out. So he went back into a deep sleep and then in 15 minutes, he woke back up, not knowing will always be hard for not knowing is the hardest part. And as I said, we have the speculation. And I think no matter what the outcome was, I think the family would just want to know, what really happened. There are always people who seem to have everything going for them, but are having self-harming thoughts on the inside. It happens. That one girl said that she was Amy. She told the lady in the restroom, but she had to go overboard. Yes, but I go try. There were a few times where somebody came up and said, "Oh, my name is Amy. My name is Amy." She talked to him, but she didn't try to escape. She didn't. I mean, it's possible, and nobody ever said anything. But it's tough to, after months, weeks, days go by, to spot out somebody that you never met before and say, definitely that's her. Because I'm telling you, Elvis is still here. Tupac is still here. They saw Tupac in Philadelphia last week. So the problem with that is what people are saying. Could it be true? Yes, you have to go investigate it. But there's never a trace. Was she at Curacao? But the last place she saw was in Barbados. Well, how did she get from Curacao to Barbados? I mean, there's just so many questions going on here. I don't think she jumped off. That they would have found her by now. No, there's a ton of people that go overboard and they don't find them. They give up the search after a day or so. They don't find the people. That happens all the time. There's 15 to 20 people go overboard on a cruise or from a cruise ship every year. Sometimes you get lucky, you find them, but that's usually, hey, somebody just went overboard. We're following, and that's how they find them. When back in 1998, they didn't have a man overboard, so we're talking, the ship had gone, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, where she jumped off at, and try finding something in the ocean. And you don't know. I mean, it's almost impossible. It's literally like the needle in a haystack. Yellow took off the ship, and Yellow took her off the ship. How did he take her off the ship? I mean, just help me with that one, because there's Liz. I'm assuming Liz. There's like two ways off. Security at the front. How did he take her off the ship? And if he's an employee taking a 120-pound bag off the ship, I think the ship would have said something. And if Amy is awake and walking off the ship, well, why wouldn't she say something? And if the parents are looking for her, well, if there's two ways off the ship, why aren't you there looking? So, I mean, yes, could that have happened? Yes, but it just doesn't seem like, to me, that just doesn't seem feasible. I mean, I think Yellow, I mean, he was last kind of seen with her, so he's the main target. But when he went home and had the bag full of pictures of women and stuff like that, it's kind of what he did. It's kind of what he did. But I mean, literally, Yellow. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's waking up. Now is the time that I decide to kidnap her. Now is the time I decide to take her, when everybody's waking up and going to see her missing. I I mean, I don't see it. And it never happened before. It never happened. It never happened after. I don't know. I don't see that happening. Okay. So that's kind of where we are now. Is that we don't know. There's been sightings, and the last sighting was in Barbados. So when I go there, I go there on Rhapsody, which is actually the same ship, in September. So I'm gonna go do my due diligence and look around. I don't think would find her, but if I did see somebody with a Tasmanian tattoo, I would let the authorities know, because everybody that thought they saw her, nobody reported it right away for whatever reason. It's never like, hey, that's the girl that's missing. Hey, it was never that way. The one guy was in the service. He didn't want to get court-martialed or whatever, or get in trouble. But to get her off the ship would have took an organized. It would take some organization from multiple people. So anyway, that's kind of my theory of what happened. I think it was 2005 was where they had the picture from the adult website, or one of the brothels, and the picture kind of matched up with her from the FBI. So that's the only thing that throws a wrench into what my belief. I mean, she could still be out there. So the case remains open. Hold on, what time is it? Okay, we got 10 minutes. No, Scott doesn't go on tonight at 8. I don't know. I got to look at what I put up there. Can somebody hit what I pinned to the top in the chat? And that it doesn't matter. Hold on. Let me do it. Live in 69. Okay. I did. I put the right list up there. I thought this was the night TJ was on it. So yes, Scott is still going on in 69 minutes. So you still go check out Scott, but I'm not in a big rush to get off now. I mean, I am in a rush, but let's see. Question for everybody in the chat. Have you ever felt like unsafe on a cruise ship? I mean, and it's different. As I said, back in the 1990s, you didn't have a care in the world. Or at least I didn't at the time. And when I went to the islands, I never had a care. But on the cruise ship, it was like, we're all family. Nothing can happen. Little did I know. Little did I know. I dropped the ball on that a couple of times. But they did push, because of this, they did push like more awareness of people going missing at sea. I mean, people go missing. I mean, this not just overboard. Hey, where did this person? It happened not too long ago. Where did the person go? We don't have them going off. We don't have them going off the ship. We don't find them on the ship. What happened? Where are they? It happens, but it made more of awareness about that, and also a faster response time. Because back in 1989, back in the 90s, you had security on a cruise ship. How well were they trained? I mean, apparently not well, because they didn't preserve the cabin. You know, who knows what kind of evidence maybe you would have found if you had preserved the cabin. Maybe it was an inside job. I heard people talk about the brother. He seemed shady. I don't think it was the brother, because, well, the brother, if her and the brother were fighting on the balcony, somebody would have woke up, somebody would have heard a scream, somebody would have heard something. So I don't think it was the brother, but I hear, people have commented that they thought it might have been a brother, her brother. So, but we don't know. They developed, faster protocol to report it, to get the local authorities involved, to reporting to the FBI. The problem that you have is all these ships are registered outside the United States, and then after you get so many miles off the coast, you're in international water. So, the FBI can't just go into Curacao and demand people turn over stuff. And unless they have a reason that they believe somebody did it, that they can show the local authority, there's nothing that they can do. They can speculate and they'll let them in and investigate, but it's really nothing they can do. They're trying to pass new legislation now that to try to come up with I want to say universal presence under maritime law. But it's tough when you don't know who's going to prosecute what crime, and these ships, what kind of training are they doing? The members, the employees on the ship, how well are they vetted? Like I said, I don't think it was yellow, but how well are they vetted? What's his background? I don't know. And apparently, the FBI didn't come up with a background check. So who knows? Maybe he is a notorious person, but we don't know. And what they're trying to do now is make everything more transparent of the number of crimes reported. You probably would be surprised at how the number of crimes that occur on a cruise ship, whether it be assaults, SAs, which is a form of an assault, theft of property, the assault and batteries. I mean, there's a lot of crime going on, and a lot of it revolves around alcohol. So they're trying to make it more transparent, make it easier to find. So now, if you want to find out information like that, you have to really go search. I'm gonna get to the safety points in a couple of seconds. But just be aware of your surroundings on these cruises. Oops, hold on. I got my notes here where I wrote down all my tips. Oh, here they are. Don't be like I was back in the 1990s. And most of us aren't like I was back in the 1990s, because back in the 90s, I just assumed they were safe. Early 2000s, I assumed they were safe. Nothing could possibly happen. Son, daughter, if you need me, I'm sitting right here at the casino, right by the aisle. Just come by and get me. Who knew? And my son would have his little friends. They would come by the door, knocking on the door. Is B Weezy home? Yeah, he's home. B Weezy? Okay, Pops, I'm out of here. And they're off to throw footballs down the steps. Yeah, he was a terror. My fault. But first thing you want to do is familiarize yourself with the layout of the ship. Know where you're at. Know where the emergencies are at. Know where the phones are at, so that if you need to make an emergency phone call, you can. If you're on a cruise ship, they don't put safes in the cabin, for their looks. They put them in there for your protection. Things that you need to, your valuables. Why you're bringing valuables on the ship, I don't know. But like for me, my passports, if I brought extra money or whatever, I might put it in the safe. Another big one that I see are how many people don't watch their drinks when they're out at the nightclub. Me, I watch everybody's drinks when I'm sitting down and not dancing. I mean, a lot of times I might get up dancing or whatever, but when I'm not dancing, I'm watching everybody's drinks. And if I see somebody who wasn't at the table all of a sudden near the drink, I let them know that I'm watching. And I let people know if I see anybody do anything or that looks suspicious, hey, just to let you know, such and such was over there. Yeah, I'm a fink. I'm a rat. So watch your drinks. I know you can't take them on the dance floor. Maybe finish your drink, then go on the dance floor, or have somebody in your group, watch the drinks. Maybe you all can't get up and go. But so many times I've seen and not to sound sexist because it could happen to a man, but like women who leave their drinks unattended. Don't let somebody buy you a drink and bring it to you. You want to, if somebody wants to buy you a drink, have the waiter or waitress bring it to you. Don't let them bring it to you. But that's not just a cruise ship. That's everywhere. On a cruise ship, it gets dark at night, and they don't have cameras everywhere. Avoid those dimly lit places. Stick to the lit areas of the ship. Stick to where people are. Stick at night. When the not the casino, the nightclub and everything closes down. Don't hang out in there. I don't know if you just met somebody or not. Don't hang out there. Hey, you want to keep the conversation going? Let's go to the casino bar someplace. Let's go to the lobby bar someplace. Stick to where other people are around or might hear you. Secure your balcony. And that is a big one. Secure your balcony. It's really not hard to go from one balcony to the next. I couldn't do it because I'm afraid of heights. But people, I know of people that have done it from one balcony to the next. But if they get to your balcony, they can get in your room. And the front door is still secured. People, just secure your balcony. Again, they put locks on the balcony for a reason. Back in probably the early 2000s, maybe 2010, they came up with a new height for the railings of a cruise ship because they were lower at one time, and it was a lot easier to go overboard. Now they have them probably about 42, 45 inches tall, and that's to keep the average person. If you bump into it, you won't fall over. If you're 7, 8, whatever, yeah. Your center of gravity would be higher than the rail, maybe. So, but anyway, the average person won't go over. That doesn't mean you can't go over. That doesn't mean that if you're drunk and you stagger and you fall and you could go over. So be aware of the railings, and don't sit on them, don't lean on them. My whole fear is that what if it's not secure and it falls off? Again, I'm afraid of heights. Don't lean on them. You can have serious accidents. Look at that guy who was on, was it Utopia? And he was reaching over trying to grab his sunglasses and he flipped over. Think how bad that could have been if there was no walkway there. Think about how bad that could have been. Now, of course, he was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, but it could happen. Same thing, shore safety. Try to go with a buddy. I know I don't a lot of the times. But try to go with a buddy. If not, stay to the populated areas. Don't go down Nassau. Nassau used to be notorious for, hey, buddy, you want to buy a Cuban cigar? You want to buy a watch? Yeah, come on down this way. Come down this alleyway. No, thanks. Even I, as brave as I am, no thanks. First of all, they're probably fake Cubans and fake watches, but no thanks. I'm not coming down some dark alleyway. So just make sure you stay aware of your surroundings, and this is off the ship. And also, people, limit your alcohol. A lot of these bad things happen, and it's not because you're sober. A lot of times, you're had too much to drink. Everybody now is worried about the marijuana and the edibles and stuff like that. Be careful out in these other countries. First of all, if you get caught, unlike in the United States where it might be a ticket, or someplace I know medical marijuana and stuff like that, it's legal, but down there it could be a felony and you might be looking at years. Just don't. Just don't. Now you go someplace where it's legal and you want to I think like Alaska, I think it was legal or whatever, and you want to go there and do some, knock yourself out. Just don't overdo it. See, I'm not a complete nerd. When you're off the ship, make it a habit of when you get on the ship, make it a habit of getting important numbers and putting them in your phone. In case of emergency, how do I reach the ship? In case of emergency, what's the number for the closest U.S. embassy? But just make it a habit of having that information. Now that means you might have to do a little homework beforehand. But better to have the numbers than to get off the ship, don't know who to call. This guy all of a sudden and is taking you someplace and you don't know where you're at. Just be prepared ahead of time. And probably the last thing that I'm going to say on this is If you see something suspicious, report it. Report it. If I saw somebody put something in somebody's drink, I would report it. I would tell them, don't drink it. Somebody put something in a drink. Let them know now, and how well their security is, how well they investigate stuff. I don't know, but report it. You know, you see something, going ashore, and you see like two guys holding a young lady's arm. One got each arm. Report it. Don't wait till you get back on the ship. Don't wait till the next port. Don't wait till you get back home. Report it. Worst thing is, oh, she had too much to drink. Everything checks out okay. You know, but if worst case scenario, maybe you could save a life. Maybe she needed help. Maybe. So just, if you, as they say, if you see something, say something. And that goes with the cruise ship. Problem with the cruise ship is this jurisdiction, and it becomes murky. And they just introduced a new bill, whether it passes or not, which would kind of like make the crime stats easier to find, the how you report crimes easier to do. I think that's important for cruise safety, especially with the number of cruise ships that are cruising now. Make it possible to actually cruise. Cruise ships don't register their cruise ships to Panama and Bahamas for no reason. They know you're limited as far as what you can get. But if the U.S. government can get involved and say, "Hey, no, you're not going to do our people that way, or you're not going to do business here," well, now maybe they'll give you a right to sue somebody. Because right now, basically, when you go sign that contract, hey, you want to go on the ship? Sign this over here. You know, we're gonna go to arbitration. You can't sue us. We'll go to arbitration out here in Bahamas, out here in Panama, wherever their ship is registered. They really need to do something. Exactly what they can do, I don't think they can stop. I don't think they can demand ships do it, but I think they can say, hey, if you want to cruise here, you have to do it. So just be aware. And I'm going to go to the chat real quick. I know I'm so far behind. Hopefully I can try to sort of. Oops. Okay, where are we at? Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Hello, VentureCast. Don't forget her shirt was on the sofa. I got it was on the sofa, but I don't think. I don't know what that means. You know, I don't know what the shirt on the sofa has to do with any crime. And they have changed the protocol. So now hopefully, well, first of all, they put the man overboard, so that way they're notified if somebody goes up. It's not 100% dependable, but they do have the man overboard system. But now they're not afraid of going into your room, making a notification when somebody comes up missing. So it's better. It's still not 100%. But if you ever watched crew members when they get on the ship, they're getting off the ship, they're going through security still. I mean, they go through more security than what we go through. Now, could you get together and get with somebody with trash? And I mean, there's a lot of ways that you could try to work around it. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that they're going to go through that kind of effort for one person. And because if you wanted to traffic somebody, you could do it right there on the island, and it's a lot easier. It would be a lot easier, and nobody would know. I can't hard to believe that no one in her family come inside. If she did, she went. No, they saw her inside. The brother and her talked on the balcony. The brother went to sleep. Dad at 5:30 in the morning saw her feet or her legs on the balcony. At 6 is when he noticed her missing. So 5:30 to 6 is when she went missing. But everybody thought that she was still on the balcony. No, 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 no. Okay, I'm so far behind. But just know that I don't know. Everything I said is speculation. Uh, okay, I've been down this road. Gwen says, well, very well orchestrated trafficking organization at work, possibly. Nah, I just don't. I don't see them. I don't see them taking that kind of risk. Not on a cruise ship. They broke up. Yep. Okay, I see. I did. I went through all this. Uh, yep. Yep. How far behind am I? Huh. I'm sorry. I'm just going out trying to catch up with where I was in the chat. They were a ways from because they had not docked yet. They were probably about an hour and a half away from docking. Um, at 5:30 ish. They were about that far, and she was already missing at 6. I think she was tricked into a supposed new life, and then was trafficked. Possible. She still had to get off the ship, and people are. I mean, she went missing before the ship docked, so I mean, she still had to get off the ship. There was that guy who jumped off a ship near Nassau a couple of years ago, and his body was never washed up. Yeah, I mean, no, that with the currents, you never know. Yeah, how is the mystery? Maybe they put a wig and sunglasses on her and walked her off in Curacao. I my only problem with that theory is I don't know. Well, oh yeah, you don't know. I don't remember how they scanned us off back in those days. I don't remember like back in the 90s. We had to go off. But my thing is, if you have a missing person, you're looking for somebody. The sunglasses and wigs is not going to. I mean, if you're not very good at your job, it might work. But that is not going to be that. Yeah, it's, you're looking for somebody, and somebody throws on a disguise. Like, will you come over here for a second, please? Just step over here for a second. I think trafficking is a serious possibility. Linda says, I think Yellow was involved. I, I, but okay. I guess I got Yellow. I just don't see it because it's 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're about to dock. It seemed like the worst time of all times to try to do something. Bama Nola, welcome in, Bama Nola. Hope you're feeling good. So, with that said and done, if anybody, I'm trying to catch up in the chat, but if you have any questions or any comments, let me know. They gave Shady a lie detector test and he passed. They gave Shady. Who's Shady? Because they gave somebody a lie detector test and it came back inconclusive. Now, granted, she may be salty for how he treated her mom, but for her to go to that's reaching out to the missing person's this is messed up. I can't read it. Hold on. Reaching out to the missing person's family and agreed to participate in the documentary. Yellow is. I don't know. Hey, Charlene Phelps, welcome to the strong crew. Welcome in. Embarkation Nation, they gave out the membership, so you have them to thank. Bamanola. Also, the balcony door was open when she went missing. If you try and open the cabin door, see, I get it. That's if the door's open, you open that door, it's like a hurricane in there. Everything's blowing. I mean, it doesn't add up for her leaving the room. To me, it doesn't add up at all, Mike. It doesn't add up at all. Well, there's a college student missing this year at an all-inclusive in the DR. They do. I mean, no, people go missing all the time. But I mean, Mike, that's good. I mean, you're right. Can you imagine if that door was open, because it was open when they woke up in the morning? If she had opened that front door, the amount of wind that would have blown through the cabin, don't tell me nobody heard that. I mean, no, come on now. Maybe maybe she identifies as invisible. I don't know. I mean, again, I just find it strange. Amy's brother has been doing a bunch of interviews on TikTok. I heard, and people they're not liking what they're hearing from him. I have not heard the interviews, but they don't like him. Whatever he's saying on TikTok, they don't like it. But I think if her and her brother fought while they were on board, they would have woke up the parents. Listening to the brother, she was happy though. She just got a puppy. I understand that, Linda, but if you're ever around somebody with depression, at one moment they may seem like they have the world by the arm, they're happy as can be, but when they get to the private thoughts, when they start drinking, they get depressed, and that's the problem with that. Is depressed people don't necessarily show signs that woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. They're not reaching out to anybody. They keep to themselves. They live a normal life. But you get on a balcony. Your personal life might not be the best. Your parents' life, with your relationship with your parents, might not be the best. You're drinking. You don't like where life is going. You get depressed, and think people do things. Yellow was a musician. You ever see the size of some of those roll cases that they use? I do. And do you know, like carrying he was a bass player, which is like a guitar. You ever seen a person that's 120 pounds and 5'6"? They wouldn't fit in a guitar case. Plus, she wouldn't go anywhere near the balcony. She was scared of. She was literally on the balcony with her brother when her brother left. Left to go lay down. So she was on the balcony. That was the last way she was saying. The dad saw her on the balcony. So I mean, I don't know when you're saying about wouldn't go anywhere near the balcony. And then if you have thoughts of jumping for yourself, well, you got to get near the balcony. But the table was pushed up against it. I mean, it just I don't know. I agree, Bill. That was a different time back then. Yes, it definitely was. It definitely was, and they let it be known that the parents really didn't accept it. I mean, no, they didn't, ostracize her or anything like that, but it wasn't accepted. I mean, there was a lot going on. Who's going to question one of the musicians rolling off a large case? Yeah, the bass player carrying off a super large, a bass player carrying off a super large case because he was a bass player, which is not that big. But okay, so let's go. He went to like a bass player. What did he do with the instrument? Because would he just left that behind? Did we just forget about that instrument? What happened then? So, but now you're saying that somebody else is involved, and it's like, so now the whole band is part of this cover up. Could it happen? Yes. Is that possible? What happened? I just don't think so. No, I think he played the bass. Also, scuba diver claims he saw yellow with Amy at the beach. Well, that's off the ship. I mean, who knows what happened off the ship? Is it possible? Could be, but we all claim we saw. We all say things that they think, and my whole thing is how long before people didn't believe Elvis was alive or Tupac? Yeah, he spotted over here, spotted over there. No, then we spotted off the beach. Oh, we're over here. I mean, so could it have happened? Yes. I don't see it. Has been seeing a picture of me, and she jumped overboard and started swimming in search of man of her dream. I don't know about that, Bama. Anything is possible. I mean, that's kind of why they have the show, and they give you like some of the details of what they have. Anything is possible. I don't think organized crime is going to get into kidnapping people off a cruise ship. They're much easier targets. There's much easier targets than somebody on a cruise ship. On a cruise ship, you're gonna become up, but people are going to miss you right away. I just see easier targets. Cruise ships. Now how are we gonna get her off the ship? Well, bass player, leave your bass on the ship. Let me put her body in your bag, in your case, and we're gonna drag this 120-pound person off the ship. I mean, is it possible? Yes. I just don't think it's feasible. And no, this is back before they had cameras everywhere, Emily. And that's why there's a few cameras. Supposedly he was spotted about 5:30 on the deck. And they had a couple on the deck, I believe. She was seen. Then he was seen by himself. She was in the room at 5:30 and this is coming per dad. So 5:30, I mean, is it possible? Scott. Well, Scrolls Nest, they don't this is like a house band. They don't, the speakers and all that, that's on the ship. They don't bring all that. The only time you see people doing that is when you have a like for the rock and roll group cruise. Now they're going to bring all their equipment, but all the equipment that you see on like these cruise ships, they don't bring their own. They bring their own instrument, but they don't bring all the amplifiers and all that. I'm trying to catch up with the chat, people. I'm pretty much done. I gave my safety briefing, so I'm trying to just catch up with the chat. I think the crew didn't care enough and didn't check everyone walking off the ship, and that's possible. The only reason I would say that would, and it's possible that they didn't care. So, but even if I wasn't good at my job and they had us do a person missing and checking out the entire ship, that I might have paid more attention to who's getting on and off the ship. It wasn't like they didn't know what was going on. Everybody knew what was going on, and I just think maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I think the people, the security, they would have paid more attention of what's going on and off the ship. I can't see the trouble of kidnapping her, sneak her off the ship, but then shuttle her around to all kind of public areas. Mike, me and you are here. Mike, me and you are here. You're talking a lot of work for one person. And let's just take a nice stroll on the beach. We snuck off the ship. Let's take a nice stroll on the beach. I just don't see it. I mean, that's a lot of work. Those cases can definitely hide a body. They could, but then they have an instrument they have to account for. Did they find an instrument? Unknown instrument. Adventures of Uncle Dave. Welcome in, Uncle Dave. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate it. You're never late, Uncle Dave. How many musicians leave the ship with gear at ports? They have their instruments. The ship has all the gear. From what yes. They had their instrument. Lori Barber, welcome in, Lori, and thank you for being a member. I appreciate it. People, if you have not hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. I'm getting ready. That's kind of what I did. Destination Fun, Detective Bill. Anyway, I don't want to make light of the situation, but it's kind of what I did, and I want things to make sense. I want things to make sense. Now everything doesn't make sense. But trying to sneak by people in your cabin to go out is tough. It's tough to do. 4 people in there, nobody saw her leave. You got 3 people in there, nobody saw her leave. And just like Mike said, the balcony door was open. If you open that door going outside, first of all, it would be tough to open. But when you did, no thumbs up. When you did open it, the amount of wind blowing it through that room would have woke everybody up. Everybody up. So, I mean, there would be just a lot to explain. And of course, they disturbed the scene. So, I mean, what little evidence they might have had at the scene is gone. Shay says it's very disheartening that nobody said they saw her sooner. That was terrible. I mean, if I thought I saw a missing person, I'm calling the police right then and there. The one guy, he explained it. He's like, I was in the military. Is that a brothel? I can't tell them I'm here. You know, I mean, he valued his career more than he did her life, which is, I mean, it's not a good look for him, but it's a reasonable explanation. Everybody saying hello. I'm trying to get to the end. No, not even when I took my solo cruise. I don't know. I must have missed something. Now you have to be careful going to Target alone. You have to be careful everywhere. But I got to admit, I've always been careful. I'm always pretty aware of my surroundings, whether people know it or not. I'm always pretty aware. I actually just got out the habit. If I ever sat down in a restaurant or in a bar or any place like that, I never sat with my back to the door, and I always knew where the exits were besides the front door. You know, I never wanted to be someplace where I didn't know how to get out of. And I mean, I got a little trauma. I admit I got a little trauma over here, you know, people. But I was always aware of that. I'm always aware. Matter of fact, I just had a Funnelheads. I'm gonna go Funnelheads. Facebook page, I believe, was hacked, and whatever they sent me a message on Funnelheads, and they sent me a message, and it said, "How was I doing?" Which was kind of weird. We don't talk on a regular basis, but we have like, "Hey, you know, what are you doing? Are you going to be on this cruise?" No, so we have talked a little bit, but we don't talk. But he wanted to know how I was doing. I'm doing good. How are you? I said basically that, hey, I'm going to be in Barcelona soon. You just left there. What hotel did you stay at? They replied, oh, when are you going to be in Barcelona? And then they started talking like in broken English. So they wrote up sentences, whatever the next line was broken English. And right there it was like, roll. What's going on here? Could he have mistyped something? Could have. But it didn't. It was more like broken English because they were spelled correctly, but just poor English. So then I get on Facebook Messenger and I message Andrew, which is, if you don't know, it's his family. That's the Funnelheads. Hey, are you messaging me right now? He says no. He says I think somebody took over my account. I said okay. So I went back to the guy and asked, hey, where do you know me? Oh, no, where did we meet? I never met the Funnelheads, but it's like, where did we meet? Immediately, he blocked the channel. He blocked the channel. I couldn't see any more messages. I tried to send him a message. I tried calling. He blocked me. So you got to beware of scammers. And if it doesn't feel right, go with your gut. If it doesn't feel right, long story short, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Walk away. And so if you're friends with Funnelheads, look at the channel that's doing it, and if he has like 12 members, that's not them. That's not them. Each time I'm forced to get off at a disembarkation day, I feel unsafe and feel I'm treated unfair. I know, right? I know. I hate that. Another thing, and we all do it. Well, I'm not gonna say we all do. I do it. Ship life. No. That's the person. Shipmate. How many of us put our cruises on Shipmate? You know, that's kind of telling people when you're not going to be at home, right? I mean, that's not the brightest thing in the world. I'm aware of it. I'm willing to take that chance. But I don't think people think like that. On my luggage tag, I don't put my address down there on my luggage tag. You don't need to know my address. Here's my name. Here's my phone number. If you find my luggage, call me. You don't need to know my address because guess what? If that baggage is going through the baggage handlers at the airport, they all know where you live. Oh, here's your address. You're from Detroit, but you're going to California. I guess who's not going to be at home? Yeah, no, I don't put my address. My name, my number. That's all you need. Now, if you want, put it inside, maybe, but even then, I don't trust them going through my luggage. So, but I just put my name and number. If you find my luggage and because of this tag, what you're gonna mail it to me or something? You don't need to know my address. Just call me and let me know you got my bag. Anyway, that's another just little safety tip. I never felt unsafe. I never really felt unsafe. I'm assuming we're talking about a cruise here. I probably missed something. I've never felt unsafe like on a cruise, but I know I've done things that were probably unsafe, but I never felt unsafe. I feel more unsafe on an airplane. uh, it's Michelle. I've never felt unsafe while cruising. I met the nicest people, but you really don't know the people. And if I was a crook, I'd be nice to everybody. Hey, how's it going? Hey. No, I'm not gonna. You can't go get me a drink. We can order a drink. I don't need you to get my drink. Michelle. We were dinner mates, Michelle, and it would be like I went to the bathroom and you go, here, Bill. Here's a drink for you. I wouldn't got one. No, thank you. Matter of fact, when I went from Brisbane, Australia to Seattle, a lady used to have like alcohol in her room, and she would go back to her room and make drinks for people. Bill, can I get you one? No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't get me one. I'll go to the bar right down here and get me a drink. No, you can't. So I mean, and probably we're friends on Facebook now. She might be in here. Alana, if you're in here, well, hey, Alana. But no, I don't let people get me drinks. Now, once I get to know you and things like that, that's a different story. But I'm just talking about kind of people you meet on the ship you really don't know. I never felt unsafe on a cruise ship, but I am always aware of my surroundings too. Grew up in an urban environment. That's me. I grew up in an urban environment. I kind of know right from wrong. I know crime can happen anywhere. But the people that are from these rural areas that trust everybody, be careful, people. Not a brother, Bill. Her brother, watch yourself. Not a brother, Bill. Her brother. I'm probably missing something there. Her brother. I know at one time we were talking about her brother, but I'm not quite sure what that meant, Uncle Dave. Maybe once or twice after returning to the cabin from the nightclub around 3 or 4 in the morning, just a creepy feeling of being in the corridor alone. I could see that. There were a lot of times. I could definitely see that. I can remember, like going into a theater like in the middle of the night filming, and then there's like just one worker vacuuming or something like that. I can see that. It's like I kind of isolated, and I can see that. My channel, welcome in again. I believe I said hello earlier. Did this story get on TV? I have not heard of it yet on TV. It's a new show on Netflix. Amy Lynn Bradley is missing. I believe it's on Netflix. Oh, yep. See, somebody's there over there. It's an unsolved mystery. America's Most Wanted. It was everywhere. It was everywhere at the time. Kind of later on. I'm saying I have to get off at a place I haven't seen in at least a week. I'm not ready to return. Dr. Phil, they did. Yeah, they were doing their, but they only went back to Curacao one time. to do like an interview. If you thought I was missing on Curacao, no, scratch that. If I thought my family or a family member was missing in Curacao, you know, I would almost set up shop over there. But it sounds like they only went back one time to do an interview. So I don't know. People are different. I mean, you just they see life differently. I'm trying to get to the bottom. Yeah, Scott, that I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised the things that I tell you. I mean, I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. Anywho, oh, I keep an eye on my drink. I keep an eye on my drink. I'm always looking around, and I leave my seat and come back. I order a fresh drink, even if I have someone with me. Like people frown on this, like going to the restroom, or whatever. I'll sit my especially if I'm the only one in there, I will sit my drink on the counter. And if nobody comes in while I'm using the restroom, I'll leave back. I'll pick it back up. I'm not for leaving my drink with anybody. I'm not going to leave it on the table. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I know that you leaving the drink in the bathroom is not the wisest thing, but I admit I do it. I try not to go in there. I try to finish off the drink and just order another one. That's the best way to do it. Rule of thumb: when I used to go out, never accept drinks from someone I didn't know. Opens an unsafe door. It does. It does. It definitely does. Have the waitress bring it to you. Go to the bar and get it. Never. I see people walking drinks across the room to somebody. I'm like, oh boy, that's just not me. Tanisha says it would be hard for any foolishness to come near me. My husband is with me all the time. Best way to be, have a partner. I just chug my drink when I have to go to the restroom. On second thought, I chug my drink when I didn't go to the restroom. Yes, Mike, that's the best way to do it. I think I'm getting close to the bottom. I think I'm getting close. Enjoyed everyone. About to go eat dinner. Me too. I haven't had anything to eat all day, really. Together we travel. Will, welcome in. I think Will has a new video coming out tomorrow too. Make sure you check it out. Good tips, says Keisha. Thank you, Keisha. Be careful with those edibles. Not that I know anything about it. Mike, I can tell you a story. I will off the air. Mike, yes. You're taking them from people that you don't know. You don't know what's inside of it. That's a no. I mean, you can keep all that. You can keep all that over where you're at. Anyway, that's a different story. That's a good tip. I never thought about that, Bill. I don't know which tip that was, but if you feel unsafe, ask the bartender or bouncer for assistance or on board. Anybody. Ask anybody on board. Luckily, Carnival is kind of ahead of the curve because they have a lot of security around there now. So Carnival is ahead of the curve. I know people talk about Carnival, but they're ahead of the curve. I went. Was it MS? It probably was MSC. I went to a nightclub at MSC, and it wasn't many people in there, where they started having a rap battle, where they started having people. Have you ever seen like a rap battle where you're rapping, but you're talking about the other person? Well, they had a rap battle going on, and the two people, they were younger adults. They were rapping and talking about each other. And I'm going, oh boy, this is going to end poorly. There was no security around. There was nothing around. I'm like, I sat there, had my drink. I'm like sitting back in the corner waiting for it to break off. But nothing ever happened. But it's like MSC, it's probably going to take and I don't know. All the shit I've been on, like going to like the nightclubs, you really don't see security. Now, maybe Le Cabaret Rouge. You know what? It had to be. I'm going to scratch that. Maybe it wasn't MSC. It seemed like it was a Carnival ship. But Carnival now, they have security in the clubs. I mean, they're not really doing much, but they have security in the clubs. So maybe it was MSC, but a lot of times MSC, the club is actually the club Cabaret Rouge. But the security, you just don't see it. Not to try to make you feel unsafe on MSC. But I think most cruise ships are safe. I think they're safer than being out in the real world. but you have to have security, but you have to plan ahead. Certain places, you need security. Everybody's saying good night. I'm getting ready to get out of here, people. Don't worry about it. Don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate it. The whole story is strange. It is, Emily. Hey, y'all, can't stay. We'll catch the replay. Will G, welcome in. Appreciate you stopping by. I'm getting out of here. I don't believe all ships have automatic man overboard detection systems. They have CCTV to monitor and review, but very few ships have man overboard. I want to say that they're supposed to implement some kind of man overboard, but it's a mob system. I forget the name of the act, but I think it was about 2010. Let me see. Let me see if I have it pulled up, because I try to have my notes. I don't. I think I closed my notes out. But I think 2010 they're supposed to have the man overboard system. How good they were, I don't know. They may have drugged her and disguised her. Okay, so the whole ship is on notice that a person is missing, and now you're going to have a couple of people dragging somebody out in a disguise past security. Could it happen? I guess. That seems like you're really asking to get caught, but maybe. According to Dr. Google, only about 30 ships between Carnival and Disney have the automatic sensors. I'm going to have to look at that. Look for the cruise. It's whatever act went into place, Cruise Vessel Act or something, like 2010. And I don't know if it was mandatory or was it recommended. But anyway, this whole new bill that's being introduced, all that kind of stuff would be mandatory. Michelle B., the ship wanderer, welcome in. Kimberly Lavelle, welcome in. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being part of the strong crew. I appreciate it. Do employees get to get off at ships? Yeah, some do. Some, if they're not working and they don't have any assignments, some of them they're able to get off board. I mean, you always run into people in the port areas where they go to Walmart usually and things like that. Some of them take excursions. So yeah, some of them can. Dustin Anderson, welcome in. Dustin, welcome in. Thank you for being a strong crew member. Appreciate you being a member. I feel about 80-20% she jumped versus Yellow Bin. Yeah, I'm higher than that. I'm up to like 90%, 95%. I don't think she left that room. I don't think she left that room. So that means she might have went next door. I don't think she left the room. But that's me. I don't know. Michelle B., I don't know what to think about Amy Bradley. I feel like I believe the Navy guy who should have not been at the brothel. He was like the best chance to say, hey, that's her. I know I'm not supposed to be here. Take your punishment, but you saved a life. Kimberly says, hi to everybody. A basic guitar case isn't that big. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like one of those on the floor basic. I mean, it just wasn't big enough. And when you think about how heavy it would be, she's 5'6", I would say good shape, 115, 120 pounds. I mean, I don't know how she's knocked out, but how is she knocked out that you're doing all this moving around and she's not moving around? And did people pay attention? Maybe not. It's always a possibility. I also wondered if the big insurance guys that the parents won the cruise from where were investigated. Too many possibilities, like you say. There's a ton of possibilities. I mean, my first thing would have went to people inside the cabin. Uncle Dave, I agree. Alcohol and depression do not mix. They don't. And what people don't understand is she might have been at the nightclub living her best life. That doesn't mean she doesn't have depression. As long as she's around people, it's okay. But she got on the balcony. She's there talking to her brother. God knows what they're talking about. And he goes to bed, and all of a sudden she's on the balcony by herself. There's no telling, and all you see is open water. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a good combination with depression. Big family expedition. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, alcohol is a depressant. It's not good. I'm trying to get to the bottom. Carnival Cruise Addicts? Were Carnival Cruise Addicts raid? Did I miss them? Did they have something? Oh, okay, Pink Panther. I'm trying to. There's Z. There's definitely makes me keep a closer eye on family labs or at sea, on land or at sea. I definitely do. I've always paid attention. I pay more attention on land, but I'm always aware, and I teach my kids. Actually, I thought, and I probably have, like my son, I probably messed him up in the head as far as being like cautious, and long hallways. As I told you, I want to know my way in and way out, and long hallways with no way out scare me, because if somebody's at one end and somebody's at the other side, you're trapped in. Anyway, my daughter is going for her senior pictures, and we're going down a hallway, and my son makes reference of that, like of the hallway. I'm like, wow, maybe I need to watch what I say around him, or my thought process. But I always want him to be aware, and he's aware of his surrounding. You're not going to sneak up on him. You're not going to trick him. You're not going to fool him. You're going to, but I mean, the lack of trust in humanity might not be the best for him. But I'm not worried about him getting somebody sneaking up on him. Whew. He could have made an anonymous call from a payphone, but he could have been scared for his own safety, I guess. And he could have been. And there was somebody else who's, they looked directly at me, and I didn't want to be bothered. But at some point, we have to watch out for each other. And maybe that's not like my law enforcement, but it's like, stepping in between people is kind of like something that kind of comes natural with me. The older I get now, I would more likely try to talk people down. But yeah, no, back, I mean, stepping in and getting in between people, especially like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, because next thing you know, the wife or whoever, they're like all ganging up on you. It's like, hey, I just thought you were in trouble. If you wanted to get away, I'm here. But if not, have a nice day. For years, we've always put our address on. I mean, they tell you, they ask for your address, Emily. You don't need my address. You need my phone number. If you find this bag, call me. Leave me a message. Call me. You don't need my address. I'll tell you where to mail it to. And the only thing is, everybody doesn't need your address. You're on YouTube and you're opening up these gifts. Make sure you don't put the address up there. Who was that? Cruising Complete. I don't think they put their address up there. Don't put your address. They don't need your address. Yeah, whenever I go on a cruise, I want to be broadcasting my travel plans, especially not to anyone local. Yeah, I mean, we do it all the time. I do it all the time. I mean, you break in here, everything's insured, and I don't have anything, so have at it. But I mean, you're literally telling everybody when you're on vacation. I travel solo, so there's literally always somebody here. So I'm not worried. And I'm not worried. My son is here, and he'll take care of himself, and he'll take care of anybody who shows up. So, if you want to show up, make an appointment. Don't just show up. I'm just saying. If someone comes down to the end of our dirt road, they better be ready. We got each other's back, and we get locked and loaded. Yeah, I mean, be aware. I mean, don't be too aggressive, because people do get lost. So don't go through shooting through doors. If you can't see your target, don't shoot. Never lose sight of your drink. Wasn't it Aruba? I want to say Curacao. I want to say Curacao. I don't think it was Aruba, and I think the last place. I mean, they might the next stop might have been Aruba or something like that after Curacao, but the last place she was seen was Barbados. I agree. I would never take a drink from someone I don't know, and not every smile has a rainbow. It doesn't. And I don't care how pretty you are, how big your smile is. I don't trust you. Passenger Vessel Act. Was that 2010, Scott? It might have been. I don't remember. I just off the top of my head, that's what I'm coming up with. About 2010, they came up with all these implementations of different things trying to make it safer. Which they're coming with trying to come up with a new law now to make it even safer. The Passenger Vessel Safety Act was passed, but it was not enforced. Oh, well, maybe that's what it is. You know what? I think I'm gonna do something here. Hold on. I told I was gonna say something to my members, but I'm gonna tell you guys. But the members, don't worry. I'm going to be going live and have some content, give you my plans on where I'm going and the ship that I'm going on. But I am going to see if I can drop some more memberships. It's always good. The more members you have, so when I go live, there's not like 3 people in there. So I know Embarkation Nation, thank you, by the way. Embarkation Nation, I dropped some memberships earlier. So I'm going to see if, where's that at? I'm going to see if I can drop some more now because I'm getting out of here this weekend. Membership gifting, get 10 free. Let me see if I can drop 5 real quick. I did. Okay. I was able to send 5. Big Murph got it. Paita got one. Cruising Capers. Captain Billy J got one. Damien and Kwanda, they also got one. Welcome to the Strong Crew. I don't think they're in here, but welcome to the crew. Welcome to the Strong Crew. You know what? That felt so good. I'm gonna do it again. I am doing it one more time. Let's see. Nope, hit the wrong button. Boop, back. Gifted memberships. Let's try 5 more. 5 more. Here it comes. Hold on. Who is it? Sigley Journey. Just Kaya TV. Yes, Michelle Crochets. The Educated Natural. Kelman Explorers. Cruising Chris. Welcome to the Strong Crew, Chris. I know Chris was in here earlier. Oh, he's right there. Right below the, what's the name? Well, welcome to the Strong Crew. Okay, hold on. hold on. Let me take the comment down because guess what? We're going to do the welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you guys coming over to the channel. At least it gives you an opportunity. Because I and thanks Scott told me, you got to do more for your membership. So anyway, I'm about to go on a cruise, and I'm taking you with me, and I'm gonna have some member only content, and members content might be behind the scene what I'm planning on doing. And there's Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave has been here for 2 years. Uncle Dave. Okay, I see. There's an emoji. No, that's not emoji. The badge. I see Uncle Dave has a badge. I see all the other people have a badge. I have to actually look to see what they meant. Each color means how long you have been a member. And Uncle Dave has been a member pretty much one of the longest times. So 21 months. We're going on close to 2 years. Thank you, Uncle Dave. Appreciate it. But Uncle Dave, do you see emojis down there? I'm not on StreamYard. I can't see the emojis. But anybody who's a member who's in the chat, can you drop an emoji? I just want to make sure that it works. Carmen for the win. What up, though, Carmen? Yep, there we go. Uncle Dave, appreciate it. Keisha, thank you. There was the green one is get off my lawn. Anyway, the members are able to drop the personalized the personalized emojis. But you have to get those. You have to be a member. Stay strong and embrace the Najuma Brown has dropped. Stay strong and embrace the journey one. Oh, thank you guys. I love all you guys. Thank you so much. But with that being said, people, members, be ready. I'm be ready. Probably Sunday, maybe Monday. I'm gonna let you know what's going on and do it. And then, I'm gonna do a live from the cruise ship for everybody. Emily, it's coming. Emily, it's coming. I swear, when I get back, Emily, when I get back, I'm gonna contact Denise and I'm gonna have some made up. I'm gonna have her, and I got to talk to her, but I haven't talked to her, personally. But I'm gonna try to have a few mugs out there for a few people, and I'm gonna try to have some T-shirts made up for some people. So it's coming. It's coming soon. So as soon as I get back, I don't know. I'm going to Greece at the end of. I'm going to Greece at the end of August. So I don't know if it's. I'm trying to do that before then. But I don't want to like have stuff made up and I'm not going to be here. And I don't want it to be left outside. My son not here, and so I kind of want to be here, but it's going to be a busy. Be Weezy. We want merch. I got you merch. Yeah, I got you merch. You had the hoodie and a T-shirt. So, but you will. You're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna find someplace. I'm gonna have it made up. But yes, yeah, there will be merch available. There are gonna be probably coffee mugs, probably hoodies and T-shirts. It's in people. It's in the works. It's in the works. I promise. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Be Weezy. I'm gonna have to give him a pay raise. He's gonna be my manager. He's gonna be my manager. I'm gonna have him. He's gonna be responsible for the merch. I'm gonna have him. That's good. That's good. I'm not. I don't know about a pay raise, Be Weezy, but you're gonna be responsible for the merch. Are we going to Greece with MH Family Adventures with Edna and Elisa and V? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So I'm actually trying to get ready for that. Next week I won't be here. Cruise Talk Live. I don't think. I don't think we're going to do a Cruise Talk Live on Wednesday because I won't. I'm gonna be on a cruise. Thursday is a travel day. I'm probably be home in time, but I'll probably be tired and don't want to do one. So next week I'm gonna take off. Hopefully I can get some content out there. I'm gonna have plenty of lives from the ship. I will tell you this: it's gonna be from the West Coast. Michelle B. Well, Michelle B. Thank you so much. Michelle B. just became a member. Appreciate it. Hold on. Unlike Scott, I don't have like 19,000 of these. So I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better. I'm trying to hide the comment. Okay, hold on. Content. Where is it at? I don't see it. Up there it is. Michelle B, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. You know what, people, you had me on here for 2 hours. Just talking nothing. Just talking nothing. But welcome to the family. Welcome to the strong crew. I appreciate you having you in here. TJ, I'm gonna be in your territory. I'm gonna be out there in LA way. I'm gonna be out LA way. Come Sunday. I don't know what time I get out there Sunday, but I'm gonna be out your way. 2 hours. I mean, and I don't want to disrespect the conversation that we had because it was something, but a lot of me just running my mouth. I don't know, TJ. I fly standby, so I got to look at the flights. I don't know. I haven't even packed yet. I'm going on a cruise. I haven't packed. I did book a hotel. I haven't packed. I haven't looked up the flights. This last minute stuff is just the way I roll. Just the way I do things. Greece. I bought a pair of walking shoes. That's the only thing I bought for Greece. I don't know if I'm gonna buy anything else. I bought a pair of walking shoes because apparently we're gonna be doing a lot of walking over there in Greece. But TJ's, I will be out there Sunday, and I will try to reach out to you. I don't know if I'm flying into LAX or Long Beach. I'm flying. I don't know yet. I want to fly into LAX, but that's further away from the port. But Long Beach, I have to stop in Salt Lake City and then go there. And I don't like connecting flights. Law Jones, welcome in, Law. Appreciate you being here. Merch ideal, a ship going over a wave with this is how I roll. Linda, thank you. Linda, I might be reaching out for you. I told you I'm reaching out to Denise, but maybe I can reach out to you too. Because that's what you guys do. And I'm not a very creative person, just like what you said. It was very creative. I'm not a very creative person. So I'm gonna probably reach out to all of you. But up to the top, people, pinned at the top is the link for Scott's Thirsty Thursday. I thought TJ was going to be on it, but he's not going to be on it. So Thirsty Thursday link is up to the top. It's 9:00, and it's getting about that time, people. It's getting about that time. Standby into and out of Orlando in the summertime is a madhouse. It's really not. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I've been flying standby for 14 years. Back when I started working for Delta 14 years ago. After 10 years, you can retire. I worked part-time. I had another job, so I worked part-time. After working for 10 years and have a certain age, 50, have a certain age, you can retire. And you keep your flight benefits. I don't have a pension or anything like that from them, but I keep my pension. So I can literally fly wherever I want, whenever I want, cheap. When I flew over to Australia, it cost $17. Flying in place within the United States or in United States properties, it's free. So flying to Barcelona, it sounds like it's going to be free, but I don't know. And flying to Greece, yep, another one. I think it's free, but I don't know. But it won't be, $15, $20 at the most. But I'm flying standby, so I gotta negotiate. I might have to go a day earlier, a day behind. I have to look and see how the flights work. Carmen, October 11th, 12th, I'll be in Long Beach, California. Then my 13th, my 55th birthday. Carmen Lynn, you're not over 35. My birthday through October 18th, I'll be on the Carnival Radiance, headed to the Mexican Riviera. We need some. Linda, yes, do a strong raid. Hashtag strong raid. Yes, hashtag strong raid, and let them know you're coming over here from over here. We're all going over there. But yeah, Carmen, that sounds like a great cruise, especially if you don't do the Mexican Riviera a lot. It's different. It's nice to stop doing the same Caribbean cruises. So I think you will love it. So strong raid hashtag. Peter, welcome in. Welcome to the strong crew. Appreciate you coming in, stopping by. Thank you. Same here, Bill. I fly standby with Delta because of my dad retired from Delta. Perfect. My son, my son, he's my companion, so he can fly. He has the same benefit. If not, he would have flew at a discount. But since I didn't have a companion, he's my companion. He flies like I fly. Whew, I feel like I said a lot. Strong Ray, thank you, Keisha. Strong Ray, over to Thirsty Thursday. Okay, see everybody saying goodbye. I'm getting ready. Strong Ray, thank you. I'm at the bottom. So people, it's been a pleasure. I am going to get out of here. As always, make sure you stay strong and embrace the journey. And I will talk to you this week. Crew members, you will get a live or a video this weekend. Talk to you later. Peace out. Stay strong. Embrace the journey. Good night. Oh, by the way, thank you all, my moderators. Thank you so much. B Weezy, thanks for looking out always. Keisha, Emily, everybody that's moderator. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Stay safe out in the streets and on the oceans, apparently. Good night.